Are you trying to sell your home right now and feeling completely confused about what's happening? Well, you're not alone. Sellers are calling me every day asking why their house isn't getting the attention they expected. Why are buyers suddenly so picky? Why are homes sitting on the market longer? Here's the thing. The market has officially shifted. And if you're still using strategies from 2 years ago, you're going to struggle. Today, I'm breaking down what's really happening in this new buyer's market and the critical things every seller needs to understand to succeed. Before we jump in, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Lily Vallario, and I've been helping people buy and sell homes for over 21 years. On this channel, I share straightforward, no fluff real estate advice that actually works, whether you're in Maryland, Chicago, California, Alabama, Arizona, or anywhere in between. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. It really helps the channel, and it keeps me motivated to bring you honest, results-driven advice. Now let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. A buyer's market happens when there are more homes for sale than there are active buyers looking to purchase. Technically, that's when inventory reaches over 4 to 6 months of supply. And that's when the power shifts from sellers to buyers. And trust me, we're there. Inventory has risen for 23 straight months, nearly 2 full years of consistent increases. We now have over 1 million active listings, and homes are taking an average of 62 days to sell. That's almost double the time it took last year. But what really tells the story are price cuts. Nearly 1 in 5 homes saw a price reduction in October. That was extremely rare a few years ago. Now they're becoming the norm because sellers are realizing that their initial pricing was too aggressive. Now you might think this is just a typical fall slowdown. October through December are always slower months, right? Wrong. This isn't seasonal. It's structural. Mortgage rates are a huge part of it. Even though rates dropped to around 6%, the lowest in over a year, that's still double what buyers were used to paying during the pandemic. Today's buyers are looking at payments that are 50 to 70% higher than they were 3 years ago for the exact same house. And here's where the golden handcuffs come in. This situation is creating another layer of complexity in today's market. The natural flow of real estate usually comes from move-up buyers, people selling their starter homes to buy their forever homes. But when your current mortgage rate is around 3% and your next one would be 6%, the math just doesn't work. So what's happening? Those homeowners are staying put. They're not listing and they're not buying either. And that's a huge part of why buyer demand feels so weak right now. Sellers keep asking, where are the buyers? Well, many of them are stuck, locked into those low-rate mortgages they simply don't want to let go of. And then there's consumer confidence, which is another major factor. When people are uncertain about their job security, inflation, or the economy, they hit pause on big financial decisions, especially buying a home. So between the golden handcuffs keeping potential buyers from moving up and nervous buyers waiting for more stability, demand has slowed dramatically, even as inventory continues to rise. You can see it in the data. Contract cancellations are climbing. About 15% of pending sales are falling through. In the past strong sellers market that we had, that almost never happened because buyers were desperate to lock something in. Now, they're cautious, they're comparing, and they're far less willing to settle for something that doesn't feel perfect. This ties directly into the biggest shift we're seeing, buyer psychology. For years, buyers felt like they had to grab whatever they could get. They waived inspections, they overpaid, and compromised on everything just to win a bid. Now, they have options. They're taking their time, running the numbers, and walking away if the house doesn't check their boxes. They're no longer buying out of fear of missing out. They're buying with intention. This isn't about panic or collapse. It's about market reset. The pandemic created an artificial shortage that pushed prices up too fast. Now the market is finding its balance again, and sellers who don't recognize this shift are the ones who'll struggle the most. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, seller expectations. I'm getting calls from homeowners who bought 2 to 3 years ago and shocked that they're barely breaking even and sometimes having to bring money to closing. Here's what happened. If you bought your home between 2020 and 2022, you experienced something extraordinary, not normal. Home values jumped 20, 30, even 40% in just 2 years. That wasn't sustainable growth. It was a pandemic-fueled spike. Historically, real estate appreciates about 3 to 4% per year. That's the long-term average. During those wild years, we were seeing that much appreciation in one single month. The math just couldn't keep up forever. Think of real estate like a roller coaster. The pandemic years were the climb straight up. Now we're coasting down the other side, and gravity's just doing what it always does. And remember, the only people who get hurt on a roller coaster are the ones who panic and try to jump off mid-ride. Real estate isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a build wealth over time strategy. The people who truly win in this market are the ones who buy, hold, and let time do the heavy lifting. But here's where sellers get frustrated. They're comparing today's market to 2021, when homes sold in 3 days with multiple offers. That market was broken. Today's market is actually healthier. It's balanced, thoughtful, and realistic. And because of those same golden handcuffs, the typical move-up flow is still jammed. So many homeowners are still sitting tight with their low mortgage rates, and that's reshaping inventory. Most of homes hitting the market right now are from life events like relocation, divorces, or financial challenges. So what does this mean if you're a seller right now? It means you need to completely rethink your strategy. The approaches that worked in 2021 will actually hurt you in 2026. First, price it right from day one. This is not the time to test the market. Buyers have options now, and they're not chasing overpriced homes. If your price is even slightly out of touch with reality, buyers will scroll right past it. Here's what I'm seeing every day. Sellers want top dollar simply because another home in their neighborhood sold for that price, and they expect the same. They also try to tack on the cost of every single improvement they've made. The new roof, the HVAC replacement, the plumbing repair, as if those automatically increase the home's market value. But unfortunately, that's not how pricing works. Today's buyers aren't just comparing prices, they're comparing condition. It's not enough to say 3 homes sold for $500,000, so I want $500,000 too. If those homes had renovated kitchens, updated bathrooms, and new flooring, and yours doesn't, you won't get that same number. The truth is, it's not just about the price anymore. It's also about how your home shows. Work with your agent to analyze recent sales, not from 2022, but from the last 60 days. Look at what's actually selling, not just what's listed. The market will always tell you what your home is worth if you're willing to listen. Second, make your home move-in ready. Buyers today are more selective than ever. They're not overlooking peeling paint, worn carpet, or dated light fixtures anymore. During the seller's market, they would have said, we'll deal with that later. Now they're saying, why should we deal with that at all? You don't have to remodel your entire kitchen, but first impressions matter. Fresh paint, clean flooring, updated hardware, and tidy landscaping go a long way. Buyers want to feel like they can move right in, not add another project to their to-do list. Third, expect longer marketing times. The average home is taking over 2 months to sell right now. Yours might sell quicker, but it could also take longer. I'm starting to see listings sitting on the market for 90 to even 120 days with no offers yet. That doesn't necessarily mean that something's wrong. It's just the reality of today's slower moving market. So don't panic if you don't get an offer in the first couple of weeks. The market rewards patience, preparations, and persistence. Fourth, be flexible with negotiations. Buyers today are asking for closing cost help, rate buydowns, or repair credits. And you know what? That's okay. In 2021, you could have said no to all those things and still get 5 offers, but that's not the case anymore. And looking into 2026, these concessions will make the difference between on the market and under contract. Finally, work with an agent who understands today's market, not yesterday's. You need someone who's in the trenches every day, who knows how to price strategically, market effectively, and negotiate smartly. This is not the time to rely on guesswork or outdated tactics. The truth is, this market still rewards great presentation and realistic pricing. Buyers want value, condition, and location. And if you can deliver those three things, your home will sell. At the end of the day, this market shift doesn't mean panic. It means adjustment. Well-prepared, strategically priced homes are still selling. You just have to play by the new rules. We're in a different season of real estate, one where strategy, preparation, and patience matter more than ever. The sellers who take the time to position their homes correctly are the ones still getting great results. The ones who fight the market or hold on to outdated expectations, they're the ones sitting without offers. So stay focused. Don't chase yesterday's market. Adapt to today's, because even in a buyer's market, opportunities are everywhere for sellers who know how to work with the market, not against it. If this video gave you a clearer picture of what's really happening in the market, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and tap the bell. I post new insights every week to help you sell smarter and stay ahead. I'm Lily Vallario, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.